If this video is being posted, that means the Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer is actually out. And if that is the case, then holy crap! I was not expecting it to drop this week out of all weeks. And after seeing it, oh my god, it actually looks so good. I cannot believe that we're only a few months away from this movie and we finally get to grace it. Jack Black has been hyping up this movie since the beginning, and I feel like this has been like the most hyped animated movie for 2024, minus Inside Out 2. Before, it was Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, now it's Kung Fu Panda 4. And right now, this movie looks amazing, so let's talk about it. First off, just this movie itself has been hyped up since the beginning. Ever since Jack Black first announced that Kung Fu Panda 4 was actually going to happen, everyone lost their minds. And the hype just kept building up every time we got news about it or just heard things about the movie. And the one thing that got everybody hyped up was finding out that Tai Lung, Shen, and Kai would all be returning in this movie in different types of forms. First, we would have, obviously, this new villain be the chameleon, who could summon old villains. And that, on the other hand, was just insane. It's a really cool concept, and honestly, a chameleon being a villain for Kung Fu Panda actually can go hard. And this trailer proved that. A lot of people were thinking, you know what, maybe she will not live up to the other villains, but I'd say based on this trailer, just so far, the movie isn't obviously released yet, but based off of this trailer, she's up there. I can tell this villain is gonna be pretty good. And obviously, there was one setback that everyone kinda had with this movie, and that was really only Awkwafina being cast as Zhen in this movie. Now, I was just, okay, this is happening, but after watching the trailer, she doesn't seem that bad. Honestly, she doesn't take on the annoying role that she tends to have in a lot of animated movies. I feel like she's just put into that. Don't get me wrong, Awkwafina does have her annoying roles, mostly looking at Little Mermaid, but there are some movies where, you know, she's tolerable, and, you know, it's fine. And I can see that Zhen could be a likable character, and you know what? That's good. I don't see a lot of, you know, setbacks with this movie. I can tell that if this movie was going to be made, they wanted to actually do it right. They weren't just going to do this just for money, because this was put in way before we even heard about, you know, all these other crappy sequels that were coming out. And I'd say here that, okay, there's one thing that people seem to be upset about, and I'm going to try and clear that up. At the beginning of the trailer, when we see Tai Lung finally show up, obviously the hype, we see him kind of get his butt kicked pretty badly. But everyone keeps saying that's the last we see of him in the entire movie, and no, that's not the case. There's a minor detail that I don't think a lot of people are looking at, but first, Tai Lung is not done in Kung Fu Panda 4. You can see in the trailer, yes, he does get knocked out, but you can clear he's not like dead, he's still moving. And there's a way to determine if it's actually the chameleon and actually Tai Lung, and it's actually by their eyes. You can see in the trailer, once Chameleon transforms into Tai Lung, her eyes go this greenish blue. You also see it when she turns into this elephant master villain. And finally, at the end of the trailer, when she turns into basically Master Villain Po. And you could tell that also in the trailer, there are segments where you see Tai Lung doesn't have the greenish blue eyes, and actually, you know, has his normal voice and actually has his normal eyes. He's in the poster too. They really wouldn't hype all these villains up just for them to not show up. And also, another problem people had was, where are the Furious 5? And well, good news, they are in the movie. Thankfully, DreamWorks confirmed after the outcry after the trailer released. They're in the movie. I'm glad DreamWorks finally, with this movie, didn't show everything in the trailer. I think they know people are going to show up to the cinemas regardless for this movie. They don't gotta go, okay, we gotta show them everything that's super cool for this movie, or they won't see it. People are gonna flock to this movie. The movie currently right now is #1 on trending, and on Twitter it has 38 million views. So this movie's gonna do fine, and it's gonna make bank. And honestly, a lot of movies are kinda moving out of March. Remember, this used to be the month when Kung Fu Panda 4 was supposed to release, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse was supposed to release, and Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. That is, and also A Quiet Place. Those are a lot of blockbusters. Thankfully, some of them moved out of. I'm still waiting for you, Godzilla. And we'll eventually see Beyond the Spider-Verse one day. But this currently right now is definitely one of my most hyped animated movies for next year. It completely blew out Inside Out 2. I am just so excited for this movie because there's a lot of directions this movie could go. I feel like it's going to turn out good. And by the way, for anyone that's saying, this is not the final Kung Fu Panda movie, by the way. Apparently, Jack Black has spoken up about how there are plans for a Kung Fu Panda 5 and 6 to actually, close out the franchise. I know people are kind of worried by that it may get stale. But I feel like, Jack Black has already said, if he feels the movie isn't going to be good, he won't sign on for it. He signed on for Kung Fu Panda 4, he saw how much of a good premise it was, and of course, hell yeah, he's going to do it. He loves playing the role of Po. So, I honestly have no words. This trailer was up in limbo for a while, and it's just, everything's great. The chameleon just looks badass. Tai Lung returning is only just the start. I cannot wait to see Shen and Kai return. The Furious 5 are definitely going to be in the movie. Zhen doesn't actually seem annoying. And did I mention the animation? The animation is mostly the same for the norm of the franchise, but there are some sequences that you can tell that are really normal for the franchise. And not leaning in super hard like Puss in Boots, but I'd say they're adding there's some new things. We're definitely gonna see it in the fight scenes. Thankfully, they didn't show every fight scene. I'm actually pretty interested to see how those are gonna play out. If the frames start dropping, something's about to go crazy. But I am really excited for Kung Fu Panda 4. I think this is gonna do great. Everything about it so far, my expectations were met with this trailer, but DreamWorks is, riding that high back up again. Next year we have Orion and the Dark. I definitely said that title wrong, but that also looks really good. It actually comes out the month before in February, but it's on Netflix, not in theaters. We have Kung Fu Panda 4 releasing, and an original DreamWorks movie releasing in September. So 3 DreamWorks movies next year. That is crazy. And I can already tell that compared to what this year was for DreamWorks, 2024 is going to be much better in terms of box office and just hype. I can tell Kung Fu Panda 4 is the top of the list for most people coming out in March, unless you're really excited for Dune. If those people, they could be in their little corner. But I'm excited, really excited for this movie. I'm really curious to hear what you guys got to say. What did you think of the Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And what are you most excited to happen in this movie? Who's your favorite Kung Fu Panda villain? I'm really interested to hear all of this, because the hype train for this movie has begun. And boy, is there gonna be a lot of surprises. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys also for the, reception on the last video. That was really unexpected, but thank you. Thank you all so much for watching. And I think, Migration comes out next week, so don't worry, you guys will have a video for that, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.